point again on Lagos Television, and we're very happy that you can join us. My name is Omololu Rosonwo. Good governance can only happen in a society where we have committed individuals and also platforms such as political parties that will usher in the people that will serve in that administration. If you look at what's been happening before independence, there were political parties, and even after independence, we had some political parties, such as the NCNC, the UPN, the National Northern Progressive Party, the Action Group, the Great Nigeria People's Party, the Unity Party of Nigeria. We also have a couple of other political parties at that period. Then we also moved later to the Republic, where we also had two political parties which had to do with NRC, the National Republican Convention, and also the SDP, the Social Democratic Party. And after 1999, or before 1999, we also had some political parties. But immediately we got to 1999, the People's Democratic Party, the Action Congress, which might have been forced into ACN, and also now APC elsewhere. In those times, we also had some political realignments, and that's what we'll be focusing on today. And I have a colleague in the house that will be joining me to do that. I have Joshua Morakinyo. Joshua, nice to have you on Top Point.
It's a pleasure to be here.
Yes.
It's one of those rare moments where I get to talk politics and not necessarily business today.
Yes, in my intro, we had some sessions, we had some political parties before independence and during independence. We also had some in the Second Republic, the Third Republic, and we also moved to the era of the two-party system, which is the NRC and the SDP.
Yes.
Now, we also moved from then till what we're witnessing today. We have the People's Democratic Party, we have the APGA, we have the APC, because APC did not start with APC, it started with ACN, ACN and metamorphosed into APC. Now, in all this, what do you make of political parties from those period and to the period or the era that we are now?
Well, I think political parties in Nigeria has evolved since we have in the first democratic dispensation. Perhaps population didn't help or wasn't a factor then. So you have very pronounced NCNC way back then. You have the likes of Nnamdi Azikiwe. Yes. You have the Abba Macaulay. Yes. So you had very strong personalities holding sway in those political parties. And as we move into the Second Republic, where you have the likes of Obafemi Awolowo, the Action Group,
yes,
and all that, you still had the NPN. Then way back then, you still had very strong political parties, still the two parties kind of like structure. But we also had other political parties.
Yes, I was coming to that.
But with very strong personalities. And of course, during the administration or the military regime of President Babangida, President Babangida, he had said, look, we can't have so many political parties. He collapsed them into two major political parties, SDP and NRC. And so you had two strong personalities there as well, vying for presidential ticket of each political party and for the president of the country. Let's move it to the new dispensation,
yes,
where, of course, people say, look, the more you have more people, more parties, the more the merrier. You can ventilate it. Don't forget that it was also adjudicated in court, where court said, no, you can't just, when INEC wanted to restrict political parties,
yes,
and they had to go to court and parties say there's freedom of association and you can have them, but INEC was complaining about money that time. Look, we had so many parties.
Yeah, maybe
some of
because
them do not
INEC
have
was funding.
Yes.
Yeah, but at some point INEC did not fund again, and we just saw those political parties fleecing out.
So you said some of these political parties do not have national spread that will engender that kind of recognition that they have. Some were playing regionally, like APGA at one point, but of course they will send some some candidates to the National Assembly, and of course they will hold sway in their region, Southeast region, and you have even ACN then, where it was
in the
only the
Southwest.
president that holds sway. Don't forget that there were about 6 states in the Southwest. The second in 2007. 2007, where about 5 of them went to the PDP,
PDP, yes.
and of course the president now, who was the governor then, also galvanized them again to come back after he has finished even his second term. But it has always been this transition. But now we have more political parties playing in the field, but we still have 2 predominant major parties. I don't know whether I can talk about PDP now or ADC has replaced PDP.
Yes, we'll still come to that because that's one issue that we also need to really look at. But looking at the parties that you mentioned, would you say, from what you have seen so far or what you saw, would you say that party supremacy held sway? Because some people felt they were bigger than the party and they misbehaved. But in some other parties, we had them say, look, the political party is more supreme than any individuals. Yet it is a special purpose vehicle where they will ride on to get to office. But you can't be bigger than your political party.
I think perhaps this question of yours leads to the present challenge we have in our political system, which you don't know who is the leader of a political party in a state, or who is the most is a stronger person in a political party, whether it is the party that is most important or is the personality of the party. I think it's a symbiotic relationship. And the template was set by the People's Democratic Party since 2009. And thanks to the likes of President Obasanjo and even his vice, the then vice, Atiku Abubakar. If you notice that time, governors were given enormous powers. And even President Obasanjo made everybody realize that, look, if you can't get the governor of a particular state, nothing can happen. That's when you had so many chop and change political, so many impeachment. I'm talking about between 1999 and 2003,
like
from Plateau State to Ekiti State. Exactly. You have so many. In fact, all the anomaly you can talk about in a democracy was playing out during that period between 1999 and 2007.
Well, look, from what you have said, can we say it had to do with because of the military era that we were coming from, or the leadership then?
I think we were just dipping our feet back into the pot or the waters of politics after we've had a hiatus since the 1985, when democracy was truncated by the military. Talking about President Muhammadu Buhari. When he overtook,
that was 83.
It was 83 when he overtook Shehu Shagari government. But I think this is where I was even coming to before I answered your question. It is the fact that, look, it is either you have personalities. Oftentimes you will say the political parties gives you the platform for you to vie for what people know is the political party. And this is their argument. You can see in recent time people are jumping ship from the PDP because there's this fear of who signs your nomination form to INEC. And that is the challenge. Don't forget what happened in Zamfara, where all the parties, all the candidates that won that election
were swept away
because of that anomaly in the crisis. However, you also talk about people like President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, where at the last election, some people will say that even his party did not support him, in quotes now, in a way that will help him even win the election. So some people will say it was his personality. Talk about even President Muhammadu Buhari. At every time he contested election, it doesn't get anything less than 11 or 9 million votes.
Personality.
So his personality alone garners that kind of huge number of votes. Don't forget the last election we had that produced President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. What won him the election was like 8 million votes.
Yes, and because of his pedigree.
His pedigree. So how do you juxtapose this together? Can you say he's the candidate, or will you say he's the political party? After all, so many people that came on the platform of the PDP, like you have in Plateau State, like you have in Osun State. Osun has gone to Accord. Rivers from PDP to APC. Delta has gone. Akwa Ibom has gone. Enugu has gone. Can I continue to mention?
Yes,
to Taraba. So when you say it's the political party, because all these people have left the party because they feel that the party can do, and they went with their supporters as well.
Yes, could it be as a result of the crisis within the said political party, this time around the People's Democratic Party? They have their issues. The Labour Party also has its issues, except for when the court now said, okay, the Nenadi Usman team should be recognized. You know, now a Abure faction is crying under, but I don't know how that plays up. Now we also have the People's Democratic Party with two people laying claim, two factions laying claim. But now it's a problem. Would you say that's the main reason why these governors are moving to the All Progressive Congress?
Obviously, if the House is settled, they won't be moving. There's a reason why all of them are jumping ship into the APC political party. We can't deny the fact that there's problem in the Labour Party and there's challenge in PDP. In fact, I feel like what they've done is beginning to bite them in the behind. As far as PDP is concerned, the monster they've groomed is now become an anathema to them. You have a situation where you didn't do all the right things at the last time. Now you have so many aggrieved. In fact, PDP has also helped us introduce being a political party, support a candidate in another political party. We have seen that now. That played out.
The experience.
Yes, exactly. That played out in the last election. And
we also had you remember we had the 5 governors that said, look, you did not follow the due process.
They call them the G5.
The G5.
And you have now, the last time I checked, I saw a candidate of the Labour, the ADC, supporting a member of the House of Reps, saying, look, I will vote for President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, but I'm still a bona fide member of the ADC. And when you ask him, why did you say, am I the first person to do this?
Because there is already a trend.
That is the new trend. That's the new thing we're seeing in Nigerian politics. Is it a good thing? That's another subject of debate. Because whatever plays out, like we've seen in other advanced democracies, people don't do that. But we have also seen, like in the last election that produced Donald Trump, we have so many Republicans supporting the Democrat. Talking about, I've forgotten her name now, the former vice.
Yes, Kamala
Harris. You have a situation where they came out in droves in their numbers. Even 7 senators and members of the House of Reps, Republicans, supporting. So I don't think. But there is more. Perhaps that's where we begin to talk about ideology of a political party or what it stands for. But as it stands, I think that's yet to be seen in our political journey, in our political dispensation.
Okay, let's look at these political parties and these governors moving to the All Progressives Congress, which has currently over 30 governors, and the road to 2027 is getting clearer. But the opposition is also there saying, look, the ADC opposition, the PDP opposition, and a couple of others saying, look, it would not be a tea party for the APC. Atiku has said it, Obi has said it, and a couple of others, Rauf Aregbesola of the ADC has also said it, and a couple of others. Do you think they have enough strength to turn or to move out the ruling APC with over 30 governors?
I think APC will be in fool's heaven if they say that ADC isn't doing something significant to upset the apple cart. However, ADC has so many hurdles to cross for us to begin to see them as a major threat ahead of 2027. The first hurdle is how they will sort out their primaries, presidential primaries, where you have 3 or 4 major candidates. You have the Atikus of this world, you have the Peter Obis of this world, you have Amechi of this world, and you have, who else again is there again? Those are the 3 people.
We also have the former Senate President, David Mark, and a couple of others.
So I'm just talking about the presidential candidate. If they can sort out that part, we'll see whether they can coalesce further into forming. Another thing, it will be how they can muzzle out the incumbent financially and politically, where you have almost 30 governors in the kitty of the All Progressives Congress, especially now that even the Abba Yusufs of this world have joined the APC.
Yes,
Kano. That is very, very strategic for the All Progressives Congress. Don't forget, the last time the governor was, the APC national chairman, was able to muzzle his way, and they got over a million votes in Kano at the last election, while the presidential candidate of the NNPP, Kwakwanso, got over 2 million.
Yes.
2 million votes.
I still recall.
That is also a major factor. How will ADC address this windfall of goodies or benevolence bestowed on APC by all these governors that have defected? That's a major challenge. And another thing is the optics of it. All the people in ADC, they are not coming to the altar with clean hands. Don't forget, they were part of the past administration or one administration before. So they've also got baggages or baggage, as it were, from their political. They've got antecedents. Who do you want to mention? Is it David Mark? Is it Peter Obi? Is it Atiku? Or is it Amechi? Amechi was, we don't forget, Amechi was part of the administration for 8 years of Muhammadu Buhari.
But
as
now
minister,
it seems to be in the opposition.
Major minister.
Yes.
And is complaining now. If, I am sure, if the administration of Muhammadu Buhari, which President Tinubu has not even touched in terms of castigating him for the economic woes of the country. He hasn't said anything, just let them be. And you have the baggage of the CBN, former CBN governor of this world, former Malami of Attorney General of this world, former Amechi of this world, and you're saying that you are not part of the problem. I'm sure during elections we're going to see how that is going to play out.
We want to see how it's going to play out. I don't know how it's going to happen, because if you have so much on your side, it's like you're having so much cards to your side, and you have like a few to other side, and those on the other side are saying, hey, we will send you out of Aso Rock. I'm looking at how that will pan out, because if you look at all the geopolitical zones, the southwest, the south-south, the southeast, the north central, and everything, you have all the governors, virtually all of them, moving, except for the southwest, where you have Makinde, and we have Oshun.
Yeah.
If you look at the North Central too, we have a couple of them moving out to the APC. No, I don't know how that will play out.
If it were before, would have just said it's a done deal. It's a done deal for President Bola Ahmed Tinubu of the APC, or APC has been able to muzzle its way into 2031. However, it's a different dynamics. Don't forget 2015, when APC coalesced. I mean, talking about ACN and
all Nigeria People's Congress,
yes,
coming together with a part of APGA.
CPC,
CPC, yes.
They coalesced and they chased the PDP that has promised to rule for over 50 years out after just 16 years. So you have a situation where there's nothing that is impossible in Nigerian politics. If you are doing that, you are living in the false paradise. If you decide to say, look, nothing like that will happen, I am sure APC watching with keen interest how these parties continue to play. I'm talking about whether Labour Party will get its acts right, whether ADC will get it right. The more they are in disarray,
the better, or
the better for
the APC.
However, there's the factor that matters to every politician, and that's the voter part of the whole equation. Nigerians will vote. And I've also come to realize that we'll talk about whether rigging, whether the process is transparent or not. What we've come to realize is when Nigerians vote, whether you rig or not, vote will count, because you can vote, you can outrig, you can outvote the rigger in Nigeria. That's what election in Nigeria has taught us. And I think 2026, 2027 promises to be interesting in the political landscape of Nigeria.
Yes, I want to believe that 2026 and 2027 will be very interesting.
Very interesting.
And we're actually waiting, Nigerians are waiting. We want to see what will actually happen in 2026 and 2027. I want to thank you so much, Joshua Murakinyo, for doing this with us, because it's one of the things why we should also be in the position to also educate the people so that they can know better. I wish we had more time, but well, we still have.
It's a pleasure to be here. I know it's a different terrain, but it's good to talk politics for a change.
Yes, it's good. It's good. That's why we're all round.
Yes.
You have to know a bit of every other thing.
True that.
Yes, I want to thank you so much for coming once again.
It's a pleasure.
On that note, we've come to the end of Talk Point. 767 and 112 still remain the lines to call in times of emergency. Stay out of trouble. Ensure that you do what is right to contribute your own quota to the development of Lagos State and indeed Nigeria. I am Omololu Rousseau. See you some other time.